Go to the phones where you have the Republican Party of chair of Guam, former Senator Tony Atta, you guys have come out with a release. Good morning, Senator. First
of all,
good
morning.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Bree. How you guys doing? Good morning, Jason.
We're doing pretty good, but you come out with a release because when the governor announced Bree, was it the same time she announced the Programa Nadudan Salapi para Itautau program that she had also announced the small business relief?
Yeah, that
program?
was the $20 million for Programa Salapi Nadudan Itautau, and then $20 million for small businesses. And we've actually been waiting to hear what is going on with this $20 million set aside.
Right, and I had to check because when the Republicans sent a release about it, I mean, thanks for the reminder, Senator.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because we were just wondering as well what happened to, that $20 million. Has it been given out? Has it been, But as they finalize their plans, we want to make sure that, everything's accounted for. And it just, Chris, just everything that's going on right now. I mean, we haven't heard anything about the small business grant program. And I know there's a lot of businesses out there that are still hurting that can utilize these funds that are available.
No, well, we hear you. It just seems like it's another one of those things that I'm going to do this. I have this plan, and then nobody knows what the hell's going on.
There's no plan.
Yeah, exactly. And everything sounds good on the surface, right? And it's a good thing that they're doing this to come out with this program, but we're not hearing anything on it and how it's going to move forward, the accountability, things like that. And I hope that when it does get implemented, that the transparency is there, and what businesses applied for the grant, who, and also what amount was granted. And I think that would be the best accountability, so that the people of Guam can see where the money went on this small business program.
Are you hearing anything, Senator, about has anybody gotten any grants? Because we actually brought this up with the Lieutenant Governor last week, and I want to say he said that they were still working on it.
I think so.
Yeah, or he said go check Dr. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything, and that's why we came out with our release. That,
right. Yeah.
If they're
maybe they forgot, Senator, and your release room. Oh man, you're right. God, there's so many programs, so little time.
Yeah, so but we just want to make sure there's accountability and transparency in distributing these grants, because just like with the PPP program that the federal government, USDA, did, everything's accounted for, and the process that you go through just to get that loan turned into a grant after 7 weeks, right? You use it for payroll. Right. Then we need to ensure that type of accountability is for the $20 million that's set aside for this small business grant. And, that it is distributed evenly. And, perhaps something that they can think about is you put a cap, maybe $100,000, $50,000, $100,000, for businesses that apply for it, and, spread it out evenly so that we're able to help more businesses with, 50 to 100,000 versus giving one business $5 million and, you only help 4 of them.
Are we, can you go onto the GITA website? Is there anything on the GITA website?
Let me check.
Did we even have a name for this? Was this the Programa Nadudan ni Business Tautau, or?
I don't think there was a name.
There wasn't any name yet. And I don't think there's any rules or regulations, or even when they did the economic assistance for, with that first $20 million, they came out immediately with how to apply for it, but we haven't heard anything on the business side of how they can apply for this grant.
Yeah, there isn't an application, or.
Yeah, and there's a lot of small businesses. I mean, even micro businesses that are hurting, that could utilize this money immediately so that they can try and get back on their feet. And now that we got our economy opening up again, we want to make sure that those small micro businesses are able to be on the, open up as well, and not be lost in the shuffle and we lose them.
Okay, I'm going to message so many. We tried to get Dr. Ricky on the show, and what the policy director Carlo Brancha told us is that he's very, very busy because he's involved in the HENEMLA and the recovery. Oh, that's the recovery one. He's just, he's a busy guy, man. There's a lot of economical stuff going on.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that they're busy, but I still think that even 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of their time to explain what's going on or where we're at in this process would be able to give people a peace of mind that yes, there is relief in sight, and we can see down the road in 3 days that the applications will be coming out, things like that.
Something had popped up and then it just went away. So you haven't heard absolutely anything, not even a hint from any of the senators down at the legislature?
No, that's why we came out with our release.
Right.
And, and the party coming out with the release is to ensure that the federal funds that come into Guam by President Trump that has graciously, included Guam in a lot of these programs and monies that are coming in, we want to make sure they're accounted for so that in the event there is a second round, that Guam continues to be a part of that, and Guam continues to receive federal funding.
Yeah, because that's going to be from the CARES Act. So yeah, I get what you're saying there, but I just still can't believe that we haven't had a word. I almost feel like they make me feel like, are we missing something? And then you find out, no, they just didn't announce anything, because it just seems like such a big oversight that you're going to come out and announce these programs for $20 million for small businesses, and then there's nothing after that. There's no application. There's no follow-up. There's no follow-up on an application. There's no telling the people how they can fill out an application that, for what we know, doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying a lot of these small businesses are, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out how they're going to move forward. And this is a way they can move forward, is if the administration comes out with the application and what needs to be done so that these businesses can get part of this grant.
Well, we'll definitely put it out there, Senator. I know they're listening.
Yeah, we really need to ensure that everybody has accountability of what goes on. But at the same token, we need to ensure that our people, are considered in all of these things that they're doing, so that when it comes down to additional funding from the federal government, that they're not going to refuse us and say, well, you guys didn't take care of that first round of COVID, so we're not going to include you in the second round.
Yeah.
But
Senator, I wanted to ask you, because I saw that one of the Republican senators had come out with a release about this COVID differential pay for the directors and the deputy directors, the political hires who the governor believes deserve more special recognition for their quarantine shepherding. So anyway, Senator Moylan came out of the release, says he doesn't believe that the directors, the deputy directors, the unclassified political hires, he doesn't believe they're entitled to COVID differential pay, which he says is bonus pay. Is that a party thing, or is he just shooting off stuff on his own?
No, I think, Chris, that's law. That's a statute, and I think it was in the 33rd Guam legislature that then Senator Cruz, BJ Cruz, introduced, so that no unclassified employees, directors like that, deputy directors, get any type of bonus pay. So
right, yeah. Let me read that off here. It's dear attorney. It's a letter from Senator Moylan to Public Auditor BJ Cruz and Attorney General Levin Camacho. Dear AG Camacho and Public Auditor Cruz, my office would like to bring to your attention and seek a clarification on the intent of Public Law 33-123 and how it applies to the payment of COVID-19 differential pay to unclassified employees of the government of Guam.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, since the COVID-19 differential pay is essentially pay that is a sum authorized and or paid that is separate and apart from and or added to the base pay, this is, in essence, would be qualified as a bonus pay, as defined in this statute.
Yeah. So that's why I'm just a little bit confused there as to why they wouldn't consider that a bonus pay. Anything above what their base salary is considered bonus or additional pay.
I'm just thinking about, because we had former Governor Eddie on the show last week, and He had said something along the lines of, "Oh, if I had done this stuff, I would have climbed to the top of the mountain and screamed out over all the way to the Marianas Trench."
Well, when you think about it, Chris, when that law was first introduced and then went down to the governors for signature, it was vetoed, and then the legislature overrode the governor's veto. So that there says that no, we're not going to give it to you.
They believe in this, right?
Yeah.
But maybe they only believe it applies to Republicans and Democrats get a slide on it.
But
I mean, I don't know why when this issue of the COVID differential pay came out, if this is something that is on the books, I don't know why the AG wouldn't come out or the public auditor wouldn't come out and say, hey, by the way, there's a law about this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be fair, the public auditor is doing an audit on the pay issue, but I'm not sure if it's the double pay or the COVID pay or the COVID differential pay or the quarantine shepherd pay or the quarantine soldier pay.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, they're with the differential pay and then the double pay. Well, okay, there's two laws that are in place. That's the double pay and the no bonus pay, right? But it's switched around to where they turn around.
Well, we're ignoring the double pay.
We're ignoring the double pay, and we're going to go ahead and give the bonus pay. So,
I mean, the optics of that, Senator, because I know you heard the news. We played the news. The governor really, really going to bat for her political hires. Optically, right, as a Republican Party chair, someone who's running in a campaign, how does that look to you that the governor has just doubled down, tripled down, and saying that, yeah, these guys, they sacrifice so much, they deserve more special recognition? Is that something that you think is a good look for the administration? Well,
Chris, it's always good to give your, the employees, a pat on the back, always, because they do their work, they do above and beyond. But at the same token, we're in a pandemic. It's expected of them to do the job that they were hired to do, and these are the people that the political hires are the people that the governor brought on, knowing that these people will be there no matter what, and what's expected of them is to go above and beyond. So, giving them that extra pat on the back, I don't think it was necessary. But recognition is always good, but the additional recognition I don't think was necessary.
I'm just looking over this. So apparently, Ricky Hernandez, when the speaker held her informational briefing, he did appear before senators. Actually, most of the governor's people spoke before the legislature, providing an update on how they've been spending and how they've been responding to COVID-19. So I see the PowerPoint presentation, and it says that all it says is 20 million small business relief program update, and so that's just on the PowerPoint. So Ricky, I believe he spoke on the matter, so we'd have to go back and review that entire
or he could have just called the media or whatever and said, hey, this is the deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that would be the best, right? And that way, everyone knows, not just the media, but the people of Guam will know.
Yeah. I didn't mean like, he needs to tell the media. I'm just saying, tell us, and then we'll tell everybody, or you can tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people listen to your show, so if he comes up onto the radio and says, "Hey, this is where we're at with the grant program for the small businesses, please, go ahead and give us a call or go online at this website and start filling out the applications." Things like that. It's never too late to change course, and it's never too late to ensure that transparency and accountability and honesty is there. So, these are the things that they can do moving forward, so that in the event, like I said, additional funding come down, Guam will always be included.
Right on. So we'll let you know. I guess we're going to go back over that presentation later and figure out what the deal is. But, I mean, no matter what the update says, looking at the website, we didn't see an application. We didn't see a process. We didn't see anything to these businesses who are struggling about how can you guys get this $20 million? It's just sitting there, gathering dust or interest or whatever.
Well, and that's why, as the party, we're going to always look at all these different programs that are going on. We want to ensure that like I said, ensure that the federal money that's coming down is being used for what they're supposed to be used, and ensure that we're always included in future grants and.
Right. You know what else though I haven't seen really is the Programan Salapi Adzudani Tautau. We do get the updates on the EIP, and I think that's because it comes from the Department of Revenue and Taxation, so they provide information on how much is paid out, how many checks, but we haven't necessarily seen that with the Programan Salapi Adzudani Tautau program. I know there was the 20 million for that.
Right.
So I think the last time we received an update was it over the weekend or Monday? The 750,000 had been paid out.
Yeah. So
and that's not even that much.
Yeah. So even with that program, I know they extended it until June, probably 7th. I think. I
think June 12th.
Correct. June 12th.
I think.
So anyway, what they should do is actually up the bar on that, right? So up the income so that more people can qualify for that. Let's get more people to take advantage of the funding that's there, so that they can provide for their families, put food on the table, put gas in the car, whatever it may be. But at least that $300 can go somewhere for them. But it's not going to be able to, if we don't expand the program, to get more people on there. I mean, obviously they're extending it until June, and only so many people have applied. And if that's all they spent was 750,000, then it's saying a lot that they need to expand the program to include more people.
Right. Well, thank you, Senator. We just wanted to bring you on and get your. It's always good to get a different perspective. So thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you. And like I said, the party will always be looking at these things and seeing how the federal programs or the federal monies are being spent, and ensuring accountability and transparency, so that we can always be afforded that additional funding should they pass any other act.
You got it.
I want to before we let you go, this is an election year. How are you guys looking in terms of putting up a slate? Are you going to put up like just a 15 slate of candidates, or are you guys, how's recruitment going?
Well, we have quite a bit of candidates for senator, but we're looking for more candidates, and that way we can put up a complete slate and hopefully be able to get the majority in this upcoming election, so that we can give that administration the checks and balances that really need to be there, because there's absolutely no checks and balances. And I'm not sure if the legislature is just rubber stamping everything that the administration says, but the last time the Republican Party have won check, there were 3 branches of government. Today it only seems like there's only 2, the judiciary and administrative legislative branch. We'll see how it goes.
All right. All right. Thanks, Senator Ada.
Thank you.
All
you
right.
guys have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
7:02, Guam's favorite. We're going to take a little break. Again, it's the KUAM News takeover of Guam's favorite 994. We're KUAM FM, and Agatni Guam containing COVID continues next. Good morning.
Keeping you informed, KUAM News brings you Banking 671, brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together, we thrive.
KUAM News COVID-19 Takeover.